Hey, how's everybody doing? Welcome to the worst reviews ever. I got my man, the Manic Genius, in here. I got KC Fred. I got This is CLS, and I got my man Phil, the lowest rater ever. Said Mr. Happy with the movies, but nah. Before we jump into the movie ratings and the summaries and stuff, how's everybody doing?
What's up?
Good, man.
All right.
Good. Can't complain.
Cool.
Solid.
All right, man. So we'll go ahead and jump into the summary. So, Manic, if you could read the first slide. Let me pull that up. The floor is yours.
Blood Red Sky. Blood Red Sky, also known as Transatlantic 473, is a 2021 German action horror thriller film directed by Peter Thorwarth, who co-wrote the screenplay with Stefan Holtz. When a group of terrorists hijacks an overnight transatlantic flight, a mysteriously ill woman must unleash a monstrous secret to protect her young son.
All right, I appreciate you. So we'll go ahead and jump into the directors, producer, and who is written by. So this movie is directed by Peter Thorwarth. It was written by Peter Thorwarth again and Stephen Holtz, and it was produced by Christian Becker and Benjamin Munz. So we'll go ahead and jump into the cast for the movie. So the first name was Perry Baumeister as Nadja. That was the main character. Mm-hmm. The next name, Alexander Shearer as 8-Ball. I think that wasn't that the crazy dude?
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
And then, next we got Kai Seti as Fareed. Carl Koch as Elias. Gordon Brown as Bill Morris. Roland Moeller as Carl. C.D. Ajurafo as Curtis. I might have butchered that one. Mm-hmm. Kai Izzo Baltese as Bastion Butchner. And Graham McTavish as Colonel Alan Drummond. And Dominic Purcell as Bird. And that was my man from Prison Break, right?
Yep. Exactly.
Okay. That's why I knew I recognized the name from somewhere. Okay, got kind of Diesel in that.
But it is Graham. But Graham McTavish was in it too. He was in Prison Break.
Which one?
He wasn't in season 1 though. He was only.
Okay.
He was only on a few episodes. Yep.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that, but I knew Dominic Purcell was definitely in Prison Break.
Yeah, I've been watching them since like 2000.
My man got kind of killed quick in this. I thought he was gonna be the antagonist. Well, but all right, let's go ahead and the main portion of this is jump into the ratings. So let me cue up the slide and we'll start at the bottom with CLS. What did you rate this movie?
Average. Like between 5 and 6. Average.
So like a 5.5, 5.4.
Average. Yep.
Okay, cool.
Average.
All right, my man Phil.
Do me last, bro. I gotta hear KC's first. I have to.
All right, Manic. What did you rate this as?
I was feeling like CLS, so a little higher though, 6.2.
Okay, 6.2. So that put you in a good category.
Yeah.
All right, KC Fred, what did you rate this as?
I actually gave it a 5.5.
So 5.5. It's average based on you.
Average, bro. I'm telling you, it was.
No, all right, Phil. What was your? You said go last. So I gave this a 7.5. Man, it was very good for me.
Yeah, right.
You get to go first.
Yeah, right.
7.5. It was very good.
Shout
out to the Germans.
He can't even fake lie. You can't even.
No, it was good. I liked it.
No, you didn't.
Since you're the outlier.
Hold on, we gotta get Phil's though. No, I'm dead serious. I like this. I thought this was a good movie. I might have put it in the 8 territory.
Yeah. Okay.
All
right, Phil.
I'm gonna go with a classic, man.
Classic what? You mean like a Coke, like a drink?
No. A classic is a 10, right?
Phil, you tripping?
Hold on, no.
You bugging, dude. You bugging.
You didn't let me finish. A classic piece of shit.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
This shit needs to be turned around the other direction.
Is that even on the chart?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. No, I'm gonna give it a 1, bro.
Okay.
A 1?
Right.
Yeah, I'm dead ass.
Oh damn,
damn.
Jerk was outlier. Let's hear your spill first, and then we'll hear.
Yeah, you definitely got to go first.
All right. So this is how I look at this movie, right? This from the beginning, I was like, all right, it's interesting, right? it kind of gave it away that she was like a vampire as soon as she went to the bathroom and drank some blood. I was like, all right, cool. She's a vampire. That's clear as day. The little boy fucked it up for everybody. I'm sorry. Like, he should have sat his little ass down and none of this shit would have took place. He had no home training. He should have got his ass beat. Had that been a black mother, he would have never got his ass up from that seat. Period. And the fact that the shit took such a weird ass twisted turn to where it was so hard to follow. I'm like, vampires are supposed to be some like badass motherfuckers. They're supposed to be strong as hell, can do all the things. She was weak as fuck. Like, it just didn't make any sense. And if you paid attention, this is what killed me. When the one dude got bit and he ended up changing. Well, I'm sorry, when he injected himself, right? He ended up changing. All the vampires like bowed to him, like he was the head dude. And I was like, okay, if anything, she should have been the head dude, like head person, and she should have had all the power. But oh boy, injected himself with a little bit of blood, and now he's the strongest. Nah, get the fuck out of here. Nah, that's some bullshit. And then again, the little boy, how many times did his little ass run away and just fuck it up? He got so many people killed. It was just like I was hoping to God that at the end of that movie, his little ass was dead. I'm serious. I was like, he needs to be done. He needs to be done. That's all I'm gonna say. That's it.
So that was a straight trash territory for those of y'all that could have seen the rating scale. So my man Phil was definitely the out. Y'all want me to go ahead and another outlier?
I mean, can we? Just,
man. So
never go ahead.
I thought this was very good because I did like the twist, like how a typical vampire movie, man. It's like very predictable, but I didn't recognize that she was like drinking blood until like later in the movie. And then I like how they introduced the element of like the hijacking and stuff like that on the airplane, because I thought that was different, where you don't typically see that in a vampire movie and stuff like that. So it added that whole dimension. And kind of what Phil was saying, where she was weaker, but she was purposely like making herself weaker so she could like contain herself and stuff like that, because she was like trying to get to that doctor's appointment so they could possibly help her out, and so she wouldn't like kill her son and stuff. So
right.
I did like that whole dynamic where she wasn't the typical like vampire that was like over the top strong and stuff like that, could overpower each other. It kind of added that element where she was like actually kind of weak throughout the movie and stuff like that. And because she knew like she had to do that to control herself so she wouldn't attack her son or hurt any other people on there. So I kind of like how they introduced that element. There was a little bit of the backstory and stuff like that, how she did kind of convert and stuff like that. So I like how they kind of tied the hijacking, her trying to control it, and then also some of the backstory and stuff like that. And then at the very end, where she was like kind of lost it because, she was just trying to take on too much. I like how, they kind of had to sacrifice her at the end. So yeah, I thought it was very good and stuff, especially for like didn't look like they had a very big budget, with the graphics and stuff. But I thought it was a pretty good storyline that for a vampire movie that's, it's like 100 of them and stuff like that. So to add those whole different action dynamics to it, I thought that was pretty clever. That was well written. So, all right, man, I'll pass it to Manic now, and then we'll go down to, down the line.
As the person with the second highest score at a 6.2, I'll echo some of the same sentiments, how it was a little bit different than your traditional vampire movie. It was they kind of merged two big styles of movies with the hijacking. We've seen plenty hijacking airplane movies. So they mixed that with a vampire movie, and it was actually kind of clever. I think that if you didn't catch her drinking the vial and it, having the little bit of blood in it, if you didn't catch that part, you could have been led to think in the beginning that this was, that she just, had cancer because, the kid had cancer.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And
yeah.
So if you didn't catch that little bathroom scene where she's drinking a little bit of blood, then you could have followed that train of thought, and then that would have been like a crazy plot twist. So I mean, I caught it, but I messed up by watching the trailer. So I kind of already knew there was going to be some like vampire, and it kind of ruined it for me. So like, I think that I had to give it. Honestly, my issue wasn't like so much of the storyline, I kind of like the twist. I like the fact that it wasn't your traditional vampire movie, wasn't your traditional hijacking. I really enjoyed that aspect of it. I think the execution of the events leading up to it was excellent. Because like, hey, they got this little kid checking in, and it just didn't make sense. But then it makes perfect sense. Once you find out that she's a vampire. The issue that I had mostly was with the kid. Man, he was just, and not just his unruliness, as Phil mentioned. It was everything about him. His character, his acting was so terrible. I mean,
You said his acting?
yeah,
What you
man.
thought,
Like,
he George Clooney or some shit?
nah, man. But this was like actually probably the worst acting I had seen in a very, very long time, like on a movie. Like they should have cut those scenes and made him redo that. Like the whole fake crying, he couldn't even shed a real tear. It was like his mom got shot in front of him, and he can't even do a fake tear. I mean, yeah, he must have been somebody's kid to get that role, honestly.
Yeah, cats is harsh, man.
Yeah, I mean, and then his character was just like, it was very like super unruly and like kind of unrealistic. So, but there were so many other elements, like the whole taking over. I like that the bad guys, they all had their own unique style and character. So it's just like I thought there was a lot of thought put into like the different casts that they put together. So I did like how the majority of the characters were very dynamic, even though what actually transpired was in a matter of hours. So there was a lot of growth and change between every single character in there. And not just them turning from normal humans to vampires. It was just like, just how they process things and how their outlook on life just changed. Like you had the pilot who was like, he was kind of cool, mellow, didn't really talk to nobody. Then you find out he's part of the bad people, and then he's like a different person. He kind of feels bad, but he doesn't really. And then he switches back to being like, hey, okay, let's just get us landed. Like, let's get everybody safe. He jumps back into that role to where he's like a good guy. And then he gets sacrificed at the end, which is like, I like that part. And then I like how in this movie they actually killed people. It wasn't like everybody's gets to hold hands and the winner, and it's just like it was very realistic. So that's why I had to bump the score back up high. But I think the movie overall is definitely worth a watch. But I won't get too much into detail into that. Yeah, I'll pass it on.
All right, Fred, Fred, give us your breakdown on your rating, why you rated it at.
I just thought it was a 5.5 just because it was just the regular average horror action movie. And to be honest with you, I thought I actually did get catch up. I caught up. I thought she had cancer. And the boy was really trying to, we got to get mom, over to the mainland so that way we can help her. She's got to make her appointment and stuff like that. So it wasn't until the flashbacks came in that I really kind of put all the pieces together. I'm not really much into horror, so the gore was kind of like, oh wow, okay. But it just I don't know. I wasn't really catching on, but I think the only thing that kept me with the movie is just the simple fact that she does become the X factor. There was a part of it where at first I didn't know she was going to turn into a vampire. I thought she was going to turn into a zombie. So I guess I'm not really a real good horror person as far as, knowing all the, know your difference and all this other stuff. I had to watch I Am Legend probably about 3 times before I caught on to everything. But yeah, I just
that's coming out soon too.
I just wasn't really feeling the movie. And so I don't know, some things you catch on to and then some things you just don't. And I know why she did it, because it was all about her and her son, which any mom would do. But I thought it was unrealistic, because for her to be able to change and go against that many dudes, and then of course she has to ultimately go against 8-Ball, who's already crazy and insane himself. I just thought it was kind of really unrealistic, and I was like, "What is this, sci-fi?" I didn't really know what category this was in, but I mean, I don't know. I got a lot of complaints, so we'll just get deep into it. But that's the reason why I gave it a 5.5, though.
All right, CLS. Why'd you give it a 5.5? Why'd you have it in the average territory?
Yeah, I was trying to soak in everybody's like thoughts on the film or whatever, and I was just gonna insert my opinion, just like that. it was like, man, this movie was 2 hours and 1 minute, and I figured it only took me 26 minutes to kind of figure out what was going on, that she was a vampire. Yeah, after putting the piece together, like you said, like the bathroom scene. Yeah, I thought she had cancer too in the beginning, like when she her hair was bald or whatever. She had the wig on.
Yeah.
Took the wig on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it, but then what was the dude? The 8-ball guy? Like when they finally got on the plane, and I guess the guy they killed was I think that was the air marshal, right? The air marshal, the 8-ball dude was stabbing to death, and he was all covered in blood and shit, right?
Yeah.
And then they came out and they were walking down the aisles and making everybody put their hands on the seat in front of them. That shit. And then I guess 8-ball got close to the mom, and then she started like trembling and shaking and shit. And then the kids looking at her, he's like, "Mom, no!" Like I was like, "Yeah." You could see like she was over there shaking like a damn crackhead. You could smell the blood. You know what I'm saying? Oh shit, she's a fucking vampire movie. So yeah, I mean, like it was very predictable, bro. It was very predictable. And okay, I guess to chime in on what Phil was saying, the only reason I think when she cornered 8-ball and he was in the car, and she was trying to kill him, because remember he took some of her blood with that syringe and then he injected himself with it in the car. She was like, "I gotta kill him," because yeah, I mean, like, because she knew how he was, you know, prior to him injecting himself. You know, he'd go up there and it'd be a fucking bloodbath, right?
Yeah.
So like, so she tried to stop him, you know, the best she could or whatever. And she thought maybe she took him down, but you know, he was still alive. At that point, you know, he didn't fully transition. And I think the reason the other ones, I guess, well, let me just say this: I watch a lot of that vampire shit. Like, let me see, Twilight, True Blood, Twilight, True Blood was the other one. Vampire Diaries. Interview with a Vampire, all that vampire shit. They're just following the same vampire playbook. If you go back and look at all that vampire shit from like the last 20, 30 years, they following the same fucking playbook. And the only reason they were following behind the 8-ball guy because he was their maker. You know what I mean? And they were mostly consuming human blood. And the only reason that the mother didn't fully transition because she started out drinking animal blood. Animal blood, I mean, I guess it'll keep you strong, but not as strong as you consuming human blood. That's the whole vampire thing.
You go to vampire college.
I know, right? Vampire University. VU.
If you watch Vampire Diaries and all that shit, that's kind of how it was.
This guy got snakes in his house.
CLS
silver bullets.
Huh? Definitely got a point. Like he really does, because it's exactly what happens in the movie.
She was trying to. She didn't want to. She didn't want to fully transition.
Oh yeah, he's got a point. Y'all gonna form a group and go hunt vampires now with each other?
She didn't want to fully transition. She didn't want. She was still trying to be a mom and then control, her, fully transition and turn into a vampire and just slaughtering people. She didn't, she was still trying to be, a normal human, but she couldn't be normal at that point, because she got bit and you know what I mean. But she was in the house when she went back to look for her husband after the car broke down. So like, yeah, that's when they showed that flashback. But this was after. Stuff on the plane when they showed that first flashback with the car breaking down and everything. So, and I'm trying to think of the other thing that you said. What did you say? But yeah, I think that's what I just thought it was okay, man. Like, and I'm familiar with Dominic Parcell and the Graham, the Mactivist. I don't know how to say his fucking last name, but that guy, he's been in a lot of shit too. He's been in a lot of shit, because I kind of reviewed his films. I think I've seen most of his shit. I just remember his face. He's been in a lot of shit too.
Yeah. So like CLS, let me ask you something real quick, because I'm like you, man. I watch like a lot of the vampire movies and stuff, and I still watch them even though they're like pretty predictable. But you didn't think like this one was a little different from majority of them?
Oh, you know what? This was something that I had to scribble it down. I was like, I wonder if they caught this. Yo, this shit was like watching like an old kung fu movie. You notice how the voiceover shit was kind of like all over the place? It wasn't like fully in sync.
Yeah, because this was a German movie though. That's what I'm saying. It was yeah. That's why it was a little off and stuff like that. But
kung fu movie, dude. There's some kung fu theater.
You said the Shaolin monks and shit. Yeah, back in the day, them shit was terrible.
Back in the day, that's shit all over the place.
No. Let me ask you all this.
Yeah, they're doing that.
Did y'all get zombie vibes rather than vampire vibes?
Nah, I mean, I got the vampire vibes.
I get the vampire
Especially
vibes.
when
Because
she
bro,
got
they
shot.
changed so fast.
Yeah.
Like it was almost instant. A vampire
Mhm.
movie, bro. You show the transition in time and how long it takes. It's a couple days.
Right.
You know, it's not no like, oh shit, I'm changing. Because the first dude she bit,
Mhm.
he started all of a sudden his shit just. I was like, come on, man.
We're talking about the dude in
That
the
is a
car?
good point. I ain't even like
I
really think about it like that.
That she had to stab. When she
Well, I guess
bit
that she bit him in
he
the neck,
started changing. She had to stab him because it was almost instant when he changed.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I
she
was
bit
like,
him in
that
the
shit
neck,
has
though.
never happened in any movie that I've seen. Like
She did
that.
bite
But I
him
mean,
in-
this
Kinda-
is this
She did
is
bite him
this
in
is
the
a
neck,
different
bro. She
movie
bit him
though,
in the
so
neck.
it's just like the vampires in this movie they just change fast.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She
but
did
when
bite
Because
she
I
got
mean,
shot,
she got bit and she changed almost instantly too. So
Ooh.
it was consistent.
Remember
What
that movie? Remember that movie Dawn of the Dead? They changed
Yes.
fast too. Those were
Yes.
fast zombies too. Them motherfuckers was fast as shit too. Them was like,
Oh yeah, the Dawn of the Day. Yeah,
Dawn of the
them
Dead,
cats was
they
like
they changed
Carl
fast.
Lewis and Usain Bolt and shit.
Yeah,
But
like
see, that's
They changed
zombie.
instantly though.
That's
It's
zombie
instant.
shit. That's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
vampire shit. I'm sorry.
But all right. So if anybody got anything else on the rating, we'll go ahead and jump into the open discussion questions. So we'll go ahead and go around real quick. Would you recommend this movie to anyone? And I'll start with you, Manic.
Yeah. I definitely recommend it to somebody if they want to study like how bad of acting can be done from a child's standpoint. Like,
Damn.
yeah,
You
if
ain't
they
giving
wanna
my
see,
man no mercy because he's a kid, man.
He's a
You,
kid,
you got him in
man.
like he's
Arnold
George
kid.
Clooney or Brad
but he was
Pitt.
just
Like,
so terrible, man. It was just terrible. Like, I mean, they had a solid cast of actors. Like, everybody did their thing, and it's just like, I'm okay with a kid not having a good role, but don't make him a main character. Like, they made him a main character, and his acting was terrible. Like, the director should have been like, "Yo, I'm not gonna let you destroy my movie. Like, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to redo that scene." Like,
this kid
yeah.
in about 5 years, he's gonna like hit some weights and he's gonna run up on you after he sees this.
Man, I hope he works on. I hope he runs up on his, you know.
He said his acting skills.
Yeah,
voice-
for sure.
That voiceover shit was just off, bro. It was off.
I mean, I didn't even mind the voiceover. It's just his acting was just terrible. If you want to see a really bad child actor, yeah, go definitely check out this movie. This movie, it had a lot of holes in it. So, I mean, if you could just let your imagination go, I mean, it'll be a solid storyline. But I'll get to that.
Okay.
But I would recommend the movie. Like I said,
All
if you want to see a bad child actor, or you ain't
Fred.
see a different take on a vampire movie.
Hey, Fred.
So I would recommend it only for Netflix, but I would never tell anybody to go out to the movie theater and pay $15-20 to go see this.
I agree.
If you like horror and action, like I said, it did give me like the Dust Till Dawn vibes, or Snakes on the Plane. I mean, it had enough action in there that it kept going. But I have to agree with CLS. It was way too long, and there's no way I would stay in the movie theater that long to watch that kind of movie.
Yeah, I didn't really realize it was 2 minutes. That is long as hell.
Yeah, 2 hours.
That's
Like
like
2 hours, 1 minute.
damn. But all right, Phil, would you recommend this to anybody?
Is that a serious question?
With the 1 rating, we'll take that as a no.
Nah, I would only because I want people to see what a shitty movie looks like. To be real.
All right, gotcha. All right, CLS.
Yeah.
Would you recommend this movie to anyone?
Yeah, but like I agree with what Fred was saying. Like, I wouldn't pay to go see it on the big screen, but if I was hanging out at home and you invite some friends over and they're skimming through Netflix and it's like, hey, well, I've never seen this before. Let's watch this. Like that kind of thing. Yeah, I'd probably watch it again. But that's it.
Okay.
Though. Yeah, that's it.
All right, so he said he'll watch it again in that manner. Phil's not going to watch it again. What about you, Fred? Would you watch this movie again?
Actually, no. I'm not really into horror films,
Yeah.
and this one right here, like I said, it just wasn't my cup of tea. And like I said, I was always confused. The cancer, the zombie, and then the vampire. It was just way too much for me to try to keep up with. It was crazy. Because like I said, I thought she turned into a zombie when she got shot and then she rose up, you know, and I was like, I felt like I was watching wrestling or something like that, you know, the Undertaker or something popped back up that fast, and, you know.
Yeah, we knew she wasn't dead.
I was done after that.
We knew she wasn't dead though. Come on, we just knew it. It was very predictable. I was like, man, she ain't dead.
But Manic, would you watch this movie again?
I actually would. Like all the shit I talked about it. I think from the very beginning, the movie starts with a lot of action. So I also didn't really notice it was 2 hours long because, you know, there was a lot of action in the beginning, and then there was like, you know, some mystery in the beginning, and then they did like I think they did a really good job with the flashbacks from like showing times when she was with her dude, and then showing when she just had her kid and how happy things were and like the type of relationship style. And just she was just a very like outgoing person, and then all of a sudden you see this more cold person, and you know she's got on a wig and the whole cancer thing. So I would watch it again. I'd watch it again with somebody that that likes watching movies and likes talking, because you know we could actually discuss it afterwards, because there's just a lot to unpack in that movie, even though there was only like one major event, which is that being the plane was the center topic. So it was overall a pretty decent movie. I'd watch it again.
Yeah, I think I would definitely watch it again, and I would recommend this to somebody, you know, just because it was a different vampire movie, I'll say, from the typical ones and stuff like that. So yeah, I definitely would do both.
That's
but
really
all right.
That's really the only twist, though, right? If you think about it.
What's that?
I said, that's really the only plot. The only plot twist really is just her being a vampire. That's pretty much it. We've seen Passenger 57 and Snakes on the Plane and Nonstop, and what was the other movie? Flight Plan with you know what I mean. We've seen all these different movies, you know what I mean, with terrorists hijacking planes for money and all these different reasons. Just never a vampire. It just inserted a vampire, and that was it.
So but real quick, because I like what you're saying. So this is going to jump into the third topic. Like, what did you think about the plot and storyline? And we'll just kind of kick it off of what CLS is saying on this one. But go ahead, Manic. I didn't mean to cut you off. I just wanted to say, like, we could go ahead and jump into the plot and storyline, because I like how he introduced that.
Okay. I was just going to say, this was very different as far as it did have a couple plot twists. It had the plot twist of her being the vampire. It had the plot twist of a hijacking happening. Had the plot twist of, you know, the pilot being actually, you know, on the side of the hijackers. So had the plot twist of a engineer being on the board to, you know, kind of assist with, you know, retaking over the plane. And then it had like the other plot twist where they're about to jump off and complete their mission, and then all of a sudden, you know, oh wait, the plane's turning around or something like that. Like right at that last moment, that everybody's suited and it's really 8-Ball that's like, I really want to do some investigating. Like, so I think I think the overall storyline, I think the plot was good. Like I really liked the plot. The execution of the storyline was, I think overall it was good, like especially for a Netflix movie. Yeah, and I'll just stop it at there, because we can talk about the actresses and actors.
Well, let me go ahead and respond to CLS, because I think there was like additional elements, and I think the biggest, you know, I'll say like a plot introduction that are a different element that they introduced was the fact that she was like trying to help out the humans while trying to resist like her urges and stuff. So I think that was one of the biggest things like that I liked about the movie, because she was like trying to balance it, you know, even towards the end where she was like pushing her son away. Like he kept on trying to hug her. She was like, nah, you got to go. Because, you know, she kept him in that light, because she was like, hey, I'm about to attack you. I'm like turning, you know, and stuff like that, because she had to drink all that blood and stuff. So, you know, she was doing that whole transition and stuff, and she couldn't really fight it off much longer. So I did like that whole element. And then like Manic was saying, I do like how, you know, it's just like all the action with a typical, like I'll say, like plane heist that's going on. But now you have like vampires that my man transition. Now he's turning everybody. And then even when they like land on the ground, you know, the military personnel was like hard headed and stuff. And they're like, hey, don't go on that plane. And, you know, that massacre happens and stuff. Like, so like now they quadrupled. So that, you know, they had to blow the plane up and stuff. So it's just like I say a lot of moving pieces. That's different from a typical, I say like vampire movie, because they did have like you were saying like typically it's the same hijacking format, but you know with the vampires on there and all that, it made it a little different. Yeah. But I did like the backstory, how the guy when she went back and he was like, "Hey, we're cursed and damned."
Oh yeah, that was good.
You know,
yeah.
So I like that element.
I like that too. That was good.
And they showed that at the end too. So yeah, that was a good element. So it definitely.
So I like how they kind of jumped it around, and like what Manic was saying, you know, you could tell they didn't have a very big budget. So I think the storyline kind of, because you think about it, like you said, 2 hours, I ain't even realize it, but a storyline's got to be pretty good for you to stay there when you don't have like a lot of explosions, because explosion was kind of terrible. But all right, Fred, what you think about the plot, the storyline? Anything else you want to tack on? Because I know we did touch this a little bit.
Honestly, I liked how the mom, it felt like there were so many times that I thought she was supposed to die, she should have died, and it just felt like the only reason why she was trying to stay alive really was to be able to protect her son. And then the guy, what's his name? Was it Farad, something like that?
Yeah,
that she kept saying, "Hey, I need you to watch over him, protect him." And it was funny that they met him at the beginning. He was there in the middle, and that he was also there to be the one at the end for the son. I thought that was very interesting. So the development there for him to grow, I thought was really cool. Like I said, I didn't think it was realistic that this female was going to be able to. You only really had one good kill, when you turned into this zombie / vampire or whatever before you got on the plane, and now you just killing all these people like you just action hero. But I didn't I didn't really understand all that, to be honest with you, and that you survive all of it into the very end, which that was something that honestly I know I'm probably already talking about the performances that stuck out, but that was one thing that really stuck out, that you lasted all the way through the movie, because I thought for sure she should have been killed, or I thought she would have got killed before all of a sudden the plane blew up. So but that was, other than that, I was just like, I thought the storyline was pretty good. I really did like the flashbacks, because at least the flashbacks is what helped me to realize that she was not a zombie and that she had became a vampire. And I just was like, okay, I don't know. It just kind of got me, because I was like, okay, it's terrorists that got the plane, but all the people that are supposed to be there to protect you, they're all dead. The marshals are dead. All the strong people are dead. And so it's just like, who's left? It's just her. And I mean, she's already weak in so many ways, but yet she kept getting stronger, because like I said, she kept taking everybody's blood and everything after she kept killing people. So to keep going, and I felt like it was all just because of her son. So I don't know. I guess in that way, I was able to follow it just enough, but it was not strong enough for me to go past a 5.5 for real. And then, like I said, I got tired at the end. I was like, after a while,
so you were stretching out on the couch like,
Well, I mean, come on, I don't think it should have went past 90 minutes. And that's, like I said, let me just go ahead and say, if I was going to change something at the end, I'll just get it out the way. I would change how long that movie was, because after 90 minutes, I was rooting for the explosion. Come on, blow up the plane. Let's get it over with. I was tired of it. So, but that was just me. So, so right now, I'm with you, Phil. Let's go.
All right, Phil. So what did you think about the plot or the storyline? I know you kind of hit some of this, but if you just want to do a quick recap.
The whole thing for me was just like, I wish they would have went and dove a little deeper into like allowing for the change to happen a little bit slower for me than it did so fast. I mean, the plot, I liked where it was going, and I wish it would have went a little bit like darker, to where it gave the mom a hell of a lot more strength than that. But other than that, I mean, I wouldn't have changed much. When we get to the last part, the things I would change for the director, that's when I'll go in.
Okay. What about you, CLS? What did you like about the plot and the storyline?
all I can do is just add on what Phil was saying about how the mother kept going. It was basically just her just having a very strong will, you know what I mean? Just willpower. She wanted to keep her son alive and then also protect the people, protect as many people on the plane as she could from the hijackers. And that's when she knew she didn't have a choice, but she never wanted to fully transition. I don't think she never wanted to, because she still wanted to kind of live that a human lifestyle and still, be a mother to her son. But once she got shot and everything, I mean, she had to get strong enough to the point where she can fight off the hijackers. And that's when she killed that first hijacker, when he came down to the bottom of the plane and drank his blood. And she had to keep drinking human blood to get stronger. Like I said, I mean, if you drink animal blood or anything else, you're never going to be strong enough to fight off, especially like you fighting hijackers that are transitioning and turning into vampires themselves, because they was drinking human blood right away. So that's why they were stronger than her.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I didn't think about that either.
And then the dude, and like I said, the dude from the car, the only reason when he bit the black guy with the bald head, when he bit him, the only reason he's getting stronger because they started out consuming human blood. She never did that. She never consumed any human blood. I'm pretty sure she was drinking animal blood in the beginning. Like when her son was still a baby and he was sitting in that high chair, I saw it going in the refrigerator and she was drinking. It looked like it might have been, I don't know if I couldn't see what it was. I mean, I don't know. Something.
That looked like Wagyu beef to me.
Maybe it might have been ground beef or something.
Oh yeah, she was eating the animal blood from beef.
Yeah, it's animal blood. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Now you're right that she straight pulled out the ribeye and was like the T-bone. Exactly. She's like sucking the blood out of it. Yeah.
Sucking the blood out of it. Exactly. It keep you strong, but not as strong. Yep.
No, that's a good point. I ain't even. All right, so we'll go ahead and we'll jump into what scenes are actress and performances stuck out. So we'll start with you, CLS. Was that the scene that kind of stuck out to you when she started drinking like the
human blood,
the animal blood?
Well, yeah, I mean those stuck out. Those were noticeable. Because like I said, everything that she did in this movie, but the same thing they did in Twilight. Did you watch the trilogy or the Twilight?
Yeah,
film? Any of you guys watch all 5? I think it's like 5 movies. Did you watch them?
Yeah,
watched all of them.
Because basically what the Cullen family was doing. Remember, they were only consuming animal blood, and then when I think Edward was telling Bella about their diet, their lifestyle. Yeah, I mean they were trying to avoid drinking human blood because they knew that it's once you start drinking human blood, your urge is like uncontrollable. You know what I mean?
Right.
Then, yeah, you know what I mean. And then where Twilight was different though, they had werewolves and shit there, so different. But but just the whole idea of them trying to control the urge by drinking something that would just keep them, it'll like settle your stomach, but you're never gonna get completely full to the point where you just. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I didn't mean to cut you off. When you're finished, I'll just have a question to ask.
Oh no, good. Yeah, I'm pretty much done. I'm just rambling at this point. Yeah.
Yeah. So, were you Team Edward or Team Jacob?
Jacob.
Oh, okay.
You was Team Jacob.
But you want to know why though? I can tell you why though.
Yeah. Why?
Because the reason I'd rather be Jacob, because if you're a werewolf, I'm saying you could still live a human lifestyle. You know what I mean? With being Edward is kind of like he couldn't even keep her warm. You know what I mean? Remember when they were in that tent and shit, and like it's like I don't know, it's like -20 outside, and saying and Jacob's still running around with fucking cargo shorts and running shoes. You know what I'm saying? He's like 1,000. His body like 1,000 degrees. Like you know what I'm saying? He can still like smash chicks and do all that human shit. You know what I mean? And Edward, and remember Edward and the rest of the vampires, they couldn't come out during the daytime. Saying their fucking skin would glow and shit, like twinkle and shit.
Yeah, man. They killed that whole movie for me. Because first of all, man, my man was like 120 still in high school, so he was like the world's dumbest vampire. So it's like,
and then that's why they lived in. That's why what was it? That's why they lived in Washington State, because believe it or not, Washington State is a lot like Copenhagen, Denmark. You know what I'm saying? It's cloudy over there like all the time. It rains all the fucking time. You know what I mean? They don't get a lot.
All those woods and stuff. Yeah,
right. They don't get a lot of sun over there. Just like Copenhagen, just like if you go to Denmark, same way. So you probably got mad vampires over that bitch.
All right, Phil, what scenes are actress performances stuck out to you?
To side with Manic, the little kid just ruined it for me, man. Like his acting was completely fucking trash. I have seen kids his age do a hell of a lot better, and it was clear as day that was someone's kid. They're like, "Go, just give him a shot. Let's see what happens." And now they know they fucked up. So, but I think the main thing that stuck out to me was like that one part where she was drinking the blood in the very beginning. Like it wasn't a lot. You couldn't see. There was like a little drip of blood on her lip, and that was the only way that kind of gave it away. And if you paid attention to that part, you were like, "Oh shit, okay." But the crazy thing is that I thought that she had cancer. I really did. I thought she was the one because she had no hair, and I was like, "Oh shit!" But not putting two and two together. Like, oh, I thought maybe okay, she had cancer, but then the vampire thing was keeping her alive. I don't know. My mind was all over the place with that one, but that was probably it for me when she drank the blood and that shit she put in her chest. I would have loved an explanation as to what the hell that was doing to her, but they didn't really deep dive into that part.
They didn't, yo. Was that like morphine or some shit?
I don't know what the hell it was, but I don't know if it was preventing her from changing or if it was like just I don't know. Because the guy had a whole bunch of shit, you know what I mean, in that fridge.
Yeah.
But he didn't talk about anything because he was clearly like fucked up if you looked at him. But whatever he made up. But then a little boy had mentioned it at one point, what it was that she was taking. But I didn't. I wanted to look it up to find out what that does for you. But
yeah, I'm gonna have to look it up now.
Maybe it helped control the urge or something. You know what I mean? The urge to want to feed.
It definitely
or like an appetite suppressant or something like that. Because she would drink a little bit of the blood and be like, "All right, give me that shot," and then she was okay.
Yeah.
So that was it for me.
That's probably what.
Yeah, it kind of looked like something almost like it weakened them because you remember like when she was taking them shots, like she couldn't even walk and stuff. So
yeah,
I'm gonna have to look it up.
But if you pay attention, right, when she did it at the airport, she was fine. She did it in the plane, she passed the hell out.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah. That's what it was. That is that morphine though? It was like some kind of clear shit she was putting in the syringe that she was injecting.
The little boy actually said what it was. He said, "We're gonna get where we're going so we can get more of your medication." But I gotta go back and read and listen to what he said.
Yeah, I am too. Because I remember. I was trying to figure out.
Looks like you'll be watching that movie again.
Yeah.
No. I'm gonna fast forward.
Bump up your scores.
Bump up that score. Yeah. I ain't never watched this movie again. I'm gonna watch it to find out what it is.
Yeah, you're gonna watch it.
All right, Casey, Fred, what scenes or actors performances stuck out? And I know you probably touched on this a little bit. So,
right, like I said, the big one was going from cancer to zombie to being a vampire and the transition. Because, like I said, when she was laying there on the plane, I really thought and she bounced back up. I thought, okay, she's a zombie. I didn't really catch on to everything. But like I said, I'm not an expert like CLS as far as on vampires and stuff. So I wasn't able to catch all that. The second thing that got me so bad was the villain 8-Ball.
Yeah,
I don't know what the deal is with him, but it just felt like he always had to be the worst villain. Like he had to let everybody know he was the toughest and he's the baddest. And then when all of a sudden he finally faces the mom and realized, hold up, wait a minute, I got competition up in here and she's got some power that, you know what, I need to possess. And then for some strange reason, because I have to be the best. And then that's when he all of a sudden, takes her blood and he all of a sudden injects himself. And then it's just that look that he gave her like, okay, now I'm the best, I'm the worst villain or whatever. That kind of stuck out to me. There was another one where towards the end of the movie that the son where all of a sudden he looks at his mom one last time before he pushes the remote button and blows up the plane. And it's like he knows that he's about to kill his mom because of the explosion and impact. So that got me. And then the last one scene that really stuck out was, I don't know why, but I really thought that the military was going to do something. And then for them to all of a sudden wait till it got dark, you had all this time in the daylight to go in there, bust a move, you know what I'm saying? And really kind of help out and get these people out. You wait till dark, which now you don't even have the advantage. And they just go in there and get slaughtered. And I was just like, you guys are a bunch of dummies. I mean, what's up with this?
Yeah.
I mean, the boy even tried to tell you. Everybody was trying to tell you, hey, and you're not even gonna listen to the boy. You're not listening to nobody. You just think you know it all, and then hear all your men get killed. So I thought that stuck out to me as well. So those were pretty much kind of like the scenes that kind of really, as far as the performances, that kind of stuck out for me.
Yeah, the military motherfuckers was stupid. They might as well just rub blood on themselves and walked up in there.
Yeah, it was. I mean, they were following orders of the colonel. He was the one giving
Yeah,
the
but
orders.
he was dumb as shit. All right,
was-
Manic. What scenes are actresses performances stuck out to you?
I think the main
Sat up
actor,
all night.
the woman, I forget her name, but I think she did a really good job of selling the different phases that they showed in the movie. Like they showed the phase where she's happy with her man, being the mother, you know, trying to be the mother of the year, but you know that had flaws in it too. I mean, who brings a baby out in the snow and has a snowball fight with their significant other with it with the newborn? I was just like,
fucking
what
Transylvania and shit.
Yeah, like I was just like she's rolling in the snow with a baby on. I was just like, what? Somebody who clearly wrote that part in there is like, don't have kids or just I don't know, don't a baby in the middle of the winter, y'all playing a snowball fight, like it's cute and
Yeah,
shit.
a bucket. That car was cheap as shit. You know what I'm
They
saying?
do it. Well, you do know that the whole cast, those are all of those actors that were in this film are from Europe and the UK.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure the movie was filmed in Germany. It looked like it might have been Germany or somewhere.
Yeah, it was Germany. It was a German.
I think that
film,
that was a stretch though. Like to have an infant, like
they do that in
having
Denmark.
a snowball fight. Oh,
They do
okay.
that. They do that in Denmark.
It was like I can confirm that.
I can.
Hey, I'll take your word for it.
They do
But
that shit over there. That's what they do over there.
Nah, I think she did an excellent job of acting and selling the movie and her role and stuff like that. It didn't look forced or faked or anything like that. So her acting definitely stuck out. I think really the majority of the cast, even for Reed, I mean, he kind of played this like kind of confused role. Stepped up when he needed to, but like he wasn't like the smartest, but he wasn't the dumbest either. I mean, he was like, you know, right in the middle. The 8-Ball character, I think he was a little bit over the top, but I liked his acting in the beginning when, you know, he stabbed the air marshal and was like, you could see that he's like really messed up. You know, he got a kick out of that. And it's just like, okay, he's the crazy one. He's the whatchamacallit. So, but I still think that was a bit far-fetched for him to like, I'm going to take her blood and I'm going to save it for later. Like, what am I going to use this for? Like, and then he didn't kill her. Yeah. Like this dude has a history of like, enjoy watching. He enjoys killing things. So it's just like, I don't think his character, you know, that was like a character flaw when he had her dead to rights. He took her blood and then he still was standing over her and he could have killed her and he didn't. Like, I think a character like that with everything that showed in his movie, he would have jumped on the opportunity. Like, I killed the vampire. Like I killed 3 other people plus the vampire. Like that, he would have really got his rocks off. Like I just killed the strongest person on here. Like, so that just didn't go hand in hand with his character, but you know, it's a movie. They were setting up this epic fight at the end and I didn't understand how he survived the fire getting burned alive. So, I mean, those things, but, I mean, his acting was pretty good. I think that was more of like a character flaw rather than his actual acting. Cause I mean, he executed all the roles, like everything was very believable. I really believed he was really that crazy. There was not one moment where it let up. Like at any moment when he pointed that gun at somebody, I was like, oh, he's going to actually shoot him, you know? So he executed that role really well. I think that, in writing his character, the director, you know, just kind of like made him weak at that one moment where he could have just easily killed her when he had her. He already took her blood. He didn't need her around. So I think all the actors and actresses did really well in this movie. You know, other than the kid.
I hope that kid swing on you one day. He's gonna run up on you. You better not go to Germany. My man gonna put you in a figure 4 leg lock. But nah, as far as the scenes that stuck out to me, I definitely think the one at the end where, like I said, she was like pushing the kid away and stuff like that. I was like, damn, that's kind of messed up, you know, because the kid was like trying to run to her and stuff, but she made him like, you know, stay in that sun, little patch of sun and stuff like that. So she knew she was turning, but she knew like all the mother vampires was like in the back, you know, about to run up on her, but they didn't want to touch that sunlight. So I did like that scene. And then, like you said, I did like 8-Ball. He was a little over the top sometimes, but I did like that character. And I think the other character, the scene that stuck out was when I think what was his name, Fareed lost his hand or something like that.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, man, my man was big as shit on the whole movie just being a nice guy. So yeah, I was like, damn, I was like, he catching a bad deal.
Did you
now he's
notice?
got to watch his kid on the end, like he got stuck with a kid and stuff. So
And that's and that shit he did or whatever. That's like some Walking Dead shit right there. Can you remember on The Walking Dead when somebody got bit, they would cut a piece of them off? So
oh yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
Walking Dead.
Yeah, I was like, damn, Fareed had to fly the plane. He had to get his hand cut off. Now he's a stepdaddy. I'm like, damn.
Been worth it if he got some ass.
A single stepdaddy at that.
Yeah, Fareed got the short end of the stick on this movie. He's like, damn, like I gotta watch this kid now.
He really got some ass if his, if mom didn't get blown up.
Yeah,
He probably got some ass. He deserved it.
Yeah, he would have turned mid stroke.
And your boy,
like
Manic was saying, your boy 8 Ball? Yeah, his was it his bloodlust was unquenchable.
Yeah. But all right, we'll go ahead and jump into the last question. So on this one, if you were the director or the producer of this movie, what would you change or do differently? We're going to Phil first because my man Phil had the one rating. So Phil, what would you change?
If it was me, y'all ever seen the end of the Michael Jackson Thriller, where he turned and like his eyes is looking all crazy, right?
In the movie theater,
right?
Yeah.
At the end of that, I would have made this movie the exact same thing, but with the little boy. I would have made it to where the little boy ended up being a damn vampire. After all that shit, that would have been tough.
He almost got bit.
I would have also made it to where we saw the mom saw the mom get up, still burnt up, but not completely dead, because I think she got far enough away.
Yeah, she was
from that
close
to where she maybe, because I mean, come on, she got shot 3 times and came to. So I'm like, what's a little fire? So I'd have made the little boy end up being a vampire, and I'd have made it so the mom would have made it through.
Would have definitely been a good twist. Like if he would have got like an ambulance or something, got away and then changed or something.
Exactly.
Then bit Fareed.
Yep, been free. Yep, and he did change, and his hair grows back, and he's good to go. Yep.
Yeah, he did almost get bit though. He almost got bit. What was it by what was the dude on the plane that got his leg fucked up, and the guy with the vest was trying to bite him? I guess he turned and he was trying to bite him.
It was close.
Like, it was close. It was real close.
Yeah, especially when he was like down in that like luggage part when he had that flashlight. He should have got bit. Yeah, so I definitely like that, Phil. That's a good twist. All right, we'll go to CLS. What would you have done differently with this movie?
Made it shorter.
Have about like 30 minutes. He would have made this like an IG clip.
No, this movie would have been 1 hour.
An hour. Okay.
They would have had to cram all that shit in 60 minutes. Yeah, cram everything. Yeah, everything, dude. I don't know. Hour 15.
But all right, we'll go to Fred on this. What would you have done differently with this movie if you could have changed the movie if you were a director?
I think I would have changed it to a mini series, and it wouldn't have even been the movie, to be honest with you. I definitely, that way it would have fell right into what CLS was saying. Just 1 hour, 45 minutes, then clip. Okay, come back next week and we'll show you something else. And then the all these different transitions, just because, like I said, this chick, I really thought she had cancer. I really, she had us all fooled. And, I thought she was chemo girl, with the bald head and everything. And just a simple fact of when she got shot and then she bounced back up. And I said, okay, we got a zombie on our hands. Then to come find out we don't even have a zombie. We literally got a bona fide vampire. And then, like I said, it was just like, where did you get all this training where you was able to jump over vehicles and do all the extra stuff? Vampires, did they come with this manual? You already know how to do all this action stuff and kill people. I wish there was, if it was a mini series, you could see how she got all this training to be able to be a bona fide killer and how she could just be able to drink blood. How did you know how to drink blood? Who taught you? All this stuff. And so with a mini series, you can really go deep. And with the movie, it was just, I don't know. I didn't like it. So the other thing is the military. I wish they would have done something because it just made us look really weak. They just sitting there and just watching. And then when they just do decide to make a decision, it was the wrong decision, and they go in there and just get slaughtered. So I was like, that wasn't a good look for the military at all. So I would have changed that as well. But other than that, like I said, that's probably the reason why I probably wouldn't watch it again. Because like I said, it was too long. And there was a lot of changes that need to be made in this movie for it to really come up. So it was just stuck at a 5 for me, 5.5.
So you said we should have got rid of the military and put some like bicycle cops, some mall cops in it. Send them on the plane.
What happened to them too? The way the actions were coming down. So
yeah, that military was pretty worthless. I ain't gonna lie. It was like shit. Y'all could have sent some like mall security up in that mug, and like we probably would have got better results. But all right, Manic, what would you have done differently with this movie?
I think it's funny. Casey Fred always wants to turn these movies into miniseries.
Yeah. My man loves a miniseries. My man said, look, I'll catch that next week. That nigga, he's like, give me 20 to the 25 minutes and I'll tune in next week.
TV series.
Yeah, but I would change 3 major things. First, I'm removing the kid. I'm getting a real child actor who has, a decent body of work, or making him redo those scenes till he gets it right.
Who was the child actor? Because I know we discussed this a little bit. You were telling me about one that was like, man, they were great.
Oh yeah, the
Dakota something.
Dakota Fanning, man, like Man on Fire. Any movie she's in, she kills. Like he like, man, look at that little girl. She's crying right now. Look, it's so believable. Look at those eyes. Like everything she did, like as a kid, is like
Equalizer. You can't compare her to Dakota Fanning, though.
I know. She's so far past this dude. Yeah, so I don't like to make the comparison, but that's just like a quick example of like, hey, a kid does have the capability to act. Like, and like she killed all her roles. But I would change the kid out. The scene where the pilot poisons the other pilot and he's out, I would have made it so that he was like out, like knocked out, like unstabilized or something like that, so he could have came back and actually helped, because it was just kind of unrealistic to have, I went to school for aerospace engineering, but I somehow know how to fly a plane, like a big ass plane too, like this big ass plane. Like it was just, you could have removed that whole element out, because you could have had the pilot like come back too, and they just like chain him or unhandcuff him and stuff like that, and then he could have actually participated in like turning the plane around and whatnot, and like providing some insight, because they already had removed the black box, so it's not like he could really communicate too much. But so those 2 changes, and then the last change, after the whole movie was over, I would have probably cut back to the movie, so it would have actually extended the movie. I would have did like a cut scene where they show the 8-ball zombie, like where he actually landed, because he fell out of the plane. But zombies, she took 3 bullets and she was still alive. So I'm sure he can survive like a long fall, especially if he lands in some snow or he lands in some water, or he lands in something. But I'd show him on the ground or something like that, like barely able to move. And somebody like, hey buddy, are you okay? And then he just goes in and just bites him. And he's just like, dang, I passed on the lineage. And then it's like, boom, the movie cuts. And it's just like, now you can have another one.
Oh, that's pretty damn. Okay.
Yeah, that'd be the only things I change.
Yeah, I think the only thing I would probably change was extend the like end a little bit, because I would like to, like what Phil was kind of outlining, because I know the mom was like far enough from the plane where she could have survived possibly or something like that. So I that's the only thing I probably would change. Everything else I'll leave the same, because I think the storyline just kind of flowed how it was, just for a vampire hijacking movie. It's like there's only so much you could kind of do with that. But I do like the element you introduced, Manic, and what Phil was talking about. I definitely think those will be good turns on this. So, all right, man. Does anybody else got anything else to add on to this movie? Any open discussion things? Anything we missed?
I think that Phil's gonna watch this movie again.
Oh yeah, he's definitely gonna watch it again. He's gonna get the medicine for us. It could have been heroin, man. It might have been heroin.
Next episode, you gonna tell us what medicine it is.
I'm gonna fast forward to that one part and find out.
So you only watching that small segment?
Just that one, and I know exactly when he talked about it too.
So, he's like, I got it saved.
Yes, it was at the beginning.
No, it wasn't the beginning. It was when he was on the phone on the plane.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
That's right, because I know exactly the scene. I just didn't like pick up on it. And even in when they went back, she went back to the house and took the bag. I think they did a close up on it, but I just didn't really care to like see what it was. So I'm gonna have to check out those two scenes. But I mean, overall, man, I like international films. I like that they are producing stuff. So you know, probably you know, the storyline, you know, vampire movies like CLS said is like they have been done too much, but it's good to see like people taking a stab at it. So
they got to fix that voiceover shit though, bro. It wasn't in sync. That shit was not in sync. Not through the entire movie.
Well, I think naturally they record them in, you know, their like native language with movies, and then Netflix will like convert them over. So I think that's what kind of happens. But yeah, I noticed some delays, but I mean, I still picked up on the movie and stuff like that. So I thought the main actress, I think she was a very good actress though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she was. Yeah, she was good.
Had that have been U.S. military, that plane would have been blew up.
Oh yeah.
They'd have blew that shit as soon as they landed.
You think so? All right.
Oh yeah, probably. Probably. They ain't gonna ask me.
Blew it up in the sky and stuff. It was like, yeah, we ain't taking no chance. Like, let's.
Anytime there's the communication aspect is not there, not doing what they saying. Like jets would have came, and that was what killed me. Like they had no jets coming up on that plane, having any kind of like coverage flying by. None of that shit.
Now they did. When that plane landed, it had two jets on the side by side with them. When the
they
plane
were coming
landed.
down.
I'm gonna have to.
They were coming down.
But I mean,
it was in the opening scene. It looked like it was getting escorted.
So if you paid attention, also they were making those two dudes speak in their like Arabic language and shit to say that they were the ones that were doing it.
Right.
And because of that, right? And I'm not sure, did that message actually go out?
It did.
Okay, so right there, because that went out, that plane would have been done. It'd have been done.
But I mean, they were making so many assumptions. I mean, it was a sloppy. I mean, you know, it was a movie, but even to that extent, you know, like typically you're not going to just sit a team in there, you know, on a plane if they hijacked it. You know, you're just going to have snipers around there, but like, look.
And not only
we're
that,
about to take this thing out.
We have thermal you know, let me stop. I'm gonna leave it there. Yep.
But all right, we'll go ahead. We'll wrap this up and you know, tune in for like the other shows on the channel, and we'll keep on knocking out these movie reviews. If you want to recommend anything to us, please hit us up in the comments or hit up my IG or Manix, and we'll go ahead and put those on a list of movies and stuff. But all right, peace. Thanks for watching.